In this video, we're going to do a very brief overview of probability. We're going to look at some key terms and their definitions, and also how to calculate basic probability, what form our answers should take, and what kind of answers we should expect in various cases. When we are talking about probability, we often reference something called an experiment. That's just really the thing that we're doing. Are we flipping a coin? Are we flipping a coin 3 times? Are we drawing a card? What is it that we're doing? That's the experiment. And then the results from that experiment are called the outcomes. So for flipping a coin, the results would be landing head up or landing tails up. If I'm drawing a card from a deck, then it could be all those different cards that we can get in a deck of 52. An event is specifying a particular outcome or group of outcomes. So for the coin, an event would be getting a tail. For the cards, an event could be drawing a heart, or it could be drawing a 2 of spades. Okay, those are both events. One has a lot of possible outcomes involved in it, and the other one has just one. That one, the 2 of spades, would be considered a simple event. It cannot be broken down any further. The sample space of our experiment is going to be listing out all the possible events that are likely. If I'm flipping a coin 1 time, very small sample space. It's a head or it's a tail. If I'm talking about drawing a card, I'm going to have a very large sample space because I have 52 distinct cards in that deck. The sum of the theoretical probabilities of all possible outcomes is 1. So the probability of getting a head plus the probability of getting a tail better equal up to 1 or 100% because those are the only 2 possible outcomes. Let's take a look at the definition for theoretical probability. So it's kind of mathy, so just go with me here. It says, suppose there is a situation with n equally likely possible outcomes, and that m of those n outcomes correspond to a particular event. Then the probability of that event is defined as, it's a fraction, all right? The probability of an event is just m, the particular thing, divided by n, the number of total outcomes, right? So don't worry too much about memorizing that definition. Instead, get it in your head that probability is number of ways I can get what I want divided by the total number of outcomes possible. That's really all it is. It's a very simple thing to calculate usually. So obviously, probabilities can be expressed as a fraction. You will often see that 1 out of 2 or 2 out of 38, whatever the case is. Okay, we would usually reduce that though, 2 out of 38 down. Sometimes you will see it expressed as a decimal, and then because I have a way to change a decimal to a percent, you will often see them changed to percentages, probability given as a percent. All right, here's just a little graphic to kind of help us get an idea of the different types of answers we could have. So I can have a probability of 1 or 100%. It's guaranteed to happen. I can have as low as a probability of 0 or 0% chance it would ever happen. Right? So 1 or 100 is certain, and 0 or 0% is impossible. It's never going to happen. If it's 50%, well, then it's, 50-50 chance, equally likely outcomes. So if I'm dealing with a fair coin, it's not weighted any weird way, then we should have equally likely outcomes of 50-50 chance of getting a head or a tail when I flip it, right? So probabilities, just to summarize, are assigned values 0 to 1. The closer an event is to 1, the more likely it will occur, and the closer it is to 0, the more unlikely it will occur. In our next videos, we will be taking a look at actually calculating some sample spaces and that basic probability.